This is the Yanks Go Yard podcast with Adam Weinrib and Thomas Carinante.
Welcome in to a Tuesday edition of the Yanks Go Yard podcast. I'm Adam Weinrib. Thomas Carinante is off today, but I figured everybody needed a little bit of an update on Yankees Nation, how things are going. We'll be back in full force on Thursday. Our typical time, typical place. Mondays and Thursdays, 2 o'clock Eastern is the standard. If you are subscribed to the Yanks Go Yard podcast, y'all already know. But if you're not and you're here by chance, hit the subscribe button, like the video, and you can also find us on all audio platforms, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, you'll find us there. Please drop us a 5-star review if you feel inclined. If you want to drop us a question, mailbag queue, put it in your review, always helpful. Anything less than 5 stars is less nice than you think it's going to be. If you want to give us a 0-star, that's your right. But if you want to give us a 4-star because you got some critiques, maybe just pocket that one and move on. We've all got some critiques for the New York Yankees. We're going to be breaking down a couple things in depth on Thursday's episode, but I wanted to do a quick update to talk about the O's series, talk about Game 1 against the Guardians and the dreaded James Karinchak, who had probably the most impressive pitching inning possible. When you wake up, as a kid, you're dreaming about being a big leaguer. I don't know if it can go much better than line drive single to center. Your center fielder misplays it into a triple. Runner on third, no outs. Aaron Judge, Anthony Rizzo, Giancarlo, Stanton coming up. And you get Aaron Judge on a check swing pop out and then strike out Rizzo and strike out Stanton. The celebration, it was annoying as hell. It was really annoying to see. Was it out of pocket? No, of course not. He can do whatever he wants, but that doesn't mean I have to like it. If you are a Yankee fan, if you're in the tri-state area, if you are a new user, before we get too far into the baseball action, then do we have an offer for you on DraftKings? If you're from New York, New Jersey, or Connecticut, and again, you are a new customer, new customers only, you can bet $5 on any sport, get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Again, you a believer? You want to learn more about DraftKings? Are you somebody who has strong opinions on baseball and other sports, but you want to finally dip your toe into the pool? This is a pretty nice way to get started. Again, that's a $5 bet on any sport. You will receive $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins, as long as you use the code Yanks Go Yard. That's Yanks Go Yard, like the website, like the podcast, no spaces. And for customers, new ones, 21 plus and present in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, the big three, the best states. Connecticut, state of national champions, basketball, hockey, Quinnipiac, boom. If you're from Connecticut, you're a winner, and so are you if you're from New York and New Jersey. What are the specifications? Minimum $5 deposit wager required. Again, that's new customers only, 21 plus and present in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. Jersey, call text 1-800-GAMBLER. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat. See full terms at DraftKings.com or in the description below. Speaking of gambling, James Karinchak certainly gambling with his life last night when he faced the heart of the Yankees order in a 3-2 game, Cleveland leading by 1 in the 8th inning. Here's the deal with Karinchak celebration, right? He strikes out Stanton. He goes absolutely wild on the mound. He basically tears his jersey off. He's gyrating. He's screaming to himself. He's not taunting the players. He's just screaming to himself. He's hype. He's a lunatic. Everybody knows he's a lunatic. No problem with the behavior. Maybe overkill for an April 10th game. It doesn't matter all that much, but it matters to him. I understand why he's doing it. I get it. That doesn't mean I have to like watching it. It also doesn't mean I have to like him. He's done a lot of questionable things in the past. Off field. Has nothing to do with that behavior last night. Has nothing to do with his curveball. Compared vaccines in the U.S. to Nazism and the principles of Nazism. Saying, actually, that's not true. He was using a Nazi quote to say that, when people are controlled, whatever. He's sort of off the rails as a guy. I don't like him. You can root for the Guardians and like him. You can root for the Guardians and not like him. A lot of people on Twitter trying to gotcha journalism here by saying, the Yankees employed Domingo Germán. The Yankees had Aroldis Chapman for a while. The Yankees had Josh Donaldson. Who are you to say who is a good guy and who's not? I hate those people. So kind of a bummer when you probably figure it out. Like, oh, wait, he hates all bad people? Yeah, I kind of hate all bad people. So not really a gotcha. I don't like Domingo Germán either. But all off-field stuff aside, even if whether I like James Karinchak or I don't. Some do. It's fine. I don't like him. Celebration was frustrating to watch. I feel like we could come to that objective truth and just agree, yeah, let the kids play. Do whatever you want. You can celebrate like a madman. He's obviously a little off kilter. He celebrates no matter who he gets out. A lot of Cleveland fans reminded us of that. It wasn't a Yankees thing. Wasn't even a Stanton, Judge, Rizzo thing. That's just what he does when he gets off the mound. The pitch clock has been screwing with him a lot. That was a huge spot, and he stepped up. Again, probably the most dominant pitching possible. There's only one way to get through runner on third, no outs in the heart of the order, and that's to induce pop-ups and dribblers and strikeouts, and he did it. He gave up the Gio Urshela grand slam in the playoffs. Felt really good to get that weight off his back. That doesn't mean I had to enjoy watching it. There's something being lost in the let the kids play sentiment that, everybody should be allowed to celebrate and everybody should also like endorse and enjoy it. I don't enjoy it. If it's happening against my team, another gotcha, people being like, oh, it's just the only problem is the laundry he's in. Yeah, if he was on the Yankees, I wouldn't have as much of a problem with it. It's easy. Sports breeds hypocrisy. Sports is all about crying about stuff. You notice nobody gets on sports radio the next morning after a big loss and is like, big show today. Really tough loss for the Yankees, and it's no big deal. And then they field a bunch of calls where people are like, that didn't matter at all. And the host is like, I agree, not important. It's not how it goes. People overreact to small things because this is a long season and you have to. It's not pearl clutching, right? To say you had a problem with the celebration. I didn't have a problem with the fact that it was happening. I had a problem with the fact that it was happening to me. I didn't like it. Somewhere lost in this discourse, I just want to remind everybody, like, many of us played high school sports. If you didn't, you played middle school sports. Do you remember the feeling of watching someone hit a home run off you and round the bases, pounding their chest, pointing at their teammates in the dugout? Everybody spills out of the dugout. They're all screaming because they did something good and it was a bad thing that happened to you. The other team has every right to do this to you. But when they do it to you, it makes you mad. That's all this was. Add in Karinchak's off the field baggage, and it's pretty clear why this is sort of a flashpoint and an upsetting thing for some Yankee fans. He can do whatever he wants. Everybody has the right to do whatever they want. I don't have to like it. Now, let's talk about the Orioles series just a little bit, wrapping up the weekend before we move on and get out of here and get back to you on Thursday. The Baltimore Orioles are a pretty good baseball team. And this was, to me, the most impressive series of the Yankee season. Now, it's muddied a little bit because, on Monday, we were coming off a series win. Now we are coming off an opening game series loss, which is exactly what we faced in Baltimore. So far, the Yankees have lost 4 games this season, and 3 of them were abnormal, and one of them was totally normal and boring. They lost 1 game to Philly where they just did not show up. At the end of the game, you go, all right, well, that was a waste of a couple hours. You're going to lose. The best teams lose 60 games in a season. You're going to lose some games. Sometimes it helps your stress levels if they look that dumb. You had no shot from first pitch. You already lost the game. 3 of them have been sort of abnormal back and forth, bullpen meltdowns, the kind of thing that no fan wants to have to endure, whether it's early April or the end of September, right? It's annoying no matter when it hits. And we got one against the Giants and went back and forth. Michael King struggled. Yankees almost came back. Stanton double play. We got one against the O's and the Guardians. Last night's game obviously goes without saying. Second and third, no outs, 2-0 in the first. You never score again. You put a runner on third with no outs twice. You don't score them. Not delightful. Nobody loves that. And the game in Baltimore, sort of the worst the bullpen rearing its ugly head. They're down 4-0 because Clark Schmidt is bad and was bad again. Somehow he added this cutter to neutralize lefties and he got worse. The lefties are killing him. It's not helping. It's in fact hurting, which is interesting. It's 4-0. Franchi Cordero's revenge. He bombs one. It's 4-3. Oswaldo Cabrera 2-run double. It's 5-4. They could tack on. They don't. Game is blown the next half inning. Marinaccio blows the lead. Jimmy Cordero comes in, starts spiking dirt balls. Bullpen blows it, right? First real bad vibes loss of the season. You have to go shake it off on the road against a team that's coming for you. in Baltimore, a team that wants your lunch money, a team that does not want to finish fourth anymore, a team that has Adley Rutschman, arguably the second best player in the series behind Aaron Judge, I would say. Well, third best behind Franchi. Just kidding. I mean, Adley Rutschman's an all-world talent, right? The Orioles, the fruits of their farm system are finally coming. Grayson Rodriguez got called up last week. The rotation gets some reinforcements. The Orioles are feeling good about themselves. They want to sweep you to put themselves in a good position. What do the Yankees do? They fight back on Saturday. They win a tight one. Anthony Volpe hits a triple. Results in a big run. They hold on. Clay Holmes looks incredible closing that one out. And then what do they do on Sunday? Nestor Cortes owns the Orioles' career. Just absurd numbers for Nestor Cortes against the Baltimore Orioles in his career. To the point, obviously Nestor Cortes is a borderline number 2 starter at this point. Well agreed across the board. We could just, even people who don't like him, we could just shake hands and agree he's a number 2 starter at this point. But against the O's specifically, he is 4-0 with a 1.37 ERA, 29 hits, and 56 strikeouts in 39 1/3 innings. That's absurdly good. After the first inning, umpire tells me you got to black out that 44 on your glove. Yankees haven't had a blacked out 44 in their clubhouse since Reggie Jackson went rage eyes when Billy Martin yanked him out of right field at Fenway. Good joke, Adam. But they black out the number on the glove. Everybody's like, well, that's going to throw Nestor off his game. It doesn't. He's great. Albert Abreu gives up 2 of his inherited runners, but they hold on and win 5-3. Judge and Rutschman both homer. And you know what? They get punched in the mouth for the first time all season. Most unpleasant game of the season was that Friday. Team is hungry to beat them at home at Camden Yards. They win the opener, their home opener. They are enraged. They're like me when I have to watch James Karinchak celebrate. And the Yankees fend him off 2 times in a row. And Nestor Cortes does his very best again against a team that let him go somewhere along the line. Yankees picked up Nestor Cortes because the Baltimore Orioles let him hit the free agent market. Nobody knew what they had in him. The Yankees figured it out, and the Yankees ride to victory again. Now this Cleveland series, Anthony Volpe's on the bench today, Tuesday. That means it's time for him to finally get a breather. He had 2 hits early in the season, 1 more late against the Phillies, 2 against the Giants, and only 1 more in the Orioles series, that triple. He's 4 for 31 on the year. They can't put the cork back in the wine bottle, right? He's going to be the starting shortstop for a while and deserves to be. He has struggled at every level that he has started, and he has found his footing at all of those levels. AA, 2 months it took to get him right, but then he ended up hitting 20 home runs and stealing 50 bags last year. First minor leaguer to do that since Andrew Jones. AAA, they got his feet wet last fall with 22 games. Didn't look great. Figured they'd probably send him back there, hoping that had served as his adjustment period, and they didn't. He impacts the game whenever he gets on the bases. He has shown a keen eye. He has shown the ability to adjust. He is also off his game right now. He deserves the night off with Garrett Cole on the mound. He is going to get that opportunity back. Out of the lineup tonight, tough series. Yankees probably have the pitching advantage tonight, probably. Garrett Cole against a rookie named Hunter Gaddis. Cleveland Prince pitching. Cole could have an off night. You never know. On paper, pretty nice matchup for the Yankees tomorrow. Don't know who the Guardians are throwing. They have an injury issue, but we have Clark Schmidt on the mound. You can't really expect to win a Clark Schmidt start at this point. 2 games in. It would be a fine result for the Yankees to win one of these 2, go back home at 7-5, face the Twins and start a homestand. Don't worry about the Tampa Bay Rays at this point. Yes, they are undefeated. Yes, it is stupid. But all the Yankees really have to do is tread water, hope the pitchers get back. The only problem is Severino feels better after his bullpen session. Carlos Rodon has a back tweak. He has been slowed a little bit. It will be a month before he returns after he starts throwing a bullpen session. Feels like mid-May to me. The more starts you have to live with Domingo Germán and Clark Schmidt in the rotation, the worse off you are. The Yankees are undefeated in other pitcher starts right now, and they are extremely defeated in those 2 pitcher starts. Sweep wouldn't be the end of the world. It's a good Cleveland team. They've proven that to you over and over again. They're also under your skin right now. If the Yankees win this series, vaults the Orioles series immediately for most impressive of the year. If they split the next 2, that'll be more than enough. And we will see you on Thursday to wrap it up. That's it for this edition of the Yanks Go Yard podcast. Remember, if you are a new DraftKings user, the code Yanks Go Yard in New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut gets you $150 in bonus bets if your $5 bet on any sport wins. Minimum $5 deposit wager required. New customers only 21 plus. Present in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. I can even beat my old speed record here. If you got a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In New Jersey, call text 1-800-GAMBLER. And in Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat. See full terms at DraftKings.com or in the description below. We welcome you. Thanks so much for joining the short show today. Wanted to get some content out there and talk about my friend and yours, James Karinchak, an infuriating man. And again, you can have bad guys on your team. Yankees have had bad guys on their team before. Doesn't mean that you are a bad fan if you're still rooting for the team to win. If you liked Karinchak striking out the Yankees as a Guardians fan, that makes all the sense in the world, and no one is saying that you should not like succeeding. But we'll be back on Thursday to wrap up the series that was. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully the Yanks can snag at least one of these in a tough road environment. This feels like an October preview because last year felt like the start of a new playoff rivalry and a new era for Yankees Guardians. Hopefully we get there. Until next time, for Thomas Carinante, I'm Adam Weinrib. You can find me on Twitter at Adam Weinrib. You can find us both at Yanks Go Yard FS. You can find us live on YouTube Mondays and Thursdays, 2 o'clock Eastern, and on every podcast platform you could imagine, Spotify, Apple, Google, whatever you subscribe to. We'll be there, and we'll be back with a recap on Thursday. Goodbye, everybody.